Islanders Lightning, Mario. Game 7 happened on Friday night, and the Lightning are going back to the Stanley Cup Finals to face the Montreal Canadiens. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. The Stanley Cup Finals start tonight at 8 p.m. on the NBC Sports Network, so make sure you go check that out tonight. Yeah, it's going to be on the NBC Sports Network, so make sure you go check that out tonight. But overall, Mario, the Lightning beat the Islanders in Game 7 1-0. This was a very close game, Mario. It was more of a defensive one than it was of anything. So yeah, I'm gonna read you the stats. There really isn't a lot of them, Mario, because it was just a 1-0 win, so really not a lot to look at. The only goal came from Yanni Gord. He had the only goal. But there was 2 assists, and those came from Anthony Cirelli and Alex Kilron. And Andre Vasilevskiy saved all 18 shots made by the Islanders, so he did a really good job there, like we expect out of him. And Semyon Varlamov, Mario, he saved 30 out of 31, which is a save percentage of 968. So overall, Mario, even though they lost the game, he still did a really good job. It could have been a lot worse than 1-0. And I look at the box stats, Mario, and a lot of these stats, you're gonna realize that it was pretty much even. Shots on goal, the Islanders only had 18 and the Lightning had 31. Face-off percentage was a flat-out 50% by both teams. No team had an advantage over the other. Power plays, the Islanders had 0 out of 1, and the Lightning didn't have a single power play at all in this game. They were 0 out of 0, which is very rare. You don't see that a lot in hockey. Penalty minutes, the Islanders had 0, and the Lightning had 2. So that was also very, very low. Hits-wise, the Islanders had 49 and the Lightning had 48. Blocks-wise, the Islanders had 8 and the Lightning had 21. Giveaways, both teams had 4, and takeaways, the Islanders had 3. The Lightning had 5. So overall, Mario, when I look at this game, it was even. It was very, very. There was a couple of stats that were. There was a couple of things I look at that are lopsided, and that was shots on goal and blocks. But other than that, Mario, when I look at this, it was extremely even. The Islanders only had 1 shot at making a power play. They didn't make it. The Lightning didn't have a single power play at all. They didn't have a single chance to make one because they didn't have one. It was 0 out of 0 for them, which again is very, very rare in hockey. You don't see that a lot. Again, this was more of a defensive game than it was of anything. So really not a lot of offensive stats pop out. So I look at this, Mario. First of all, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're still defending their title. We always say, it's hard to win the championship, but it's hard to repeat it. It really is. It's very, very difficult. You know what I mean? So even though a lot of people probably gonna be like, oh, well, it's just the Canadiens, it's gonna be an easy task. Well, I mean, the Canadiens made it this far. Why would they just lie down now? This is a team no one expected to make this far, so why are they just gonna sit down and be like, oh yeah, you can take your title back? No, that ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. So when I look at this, Mario, what went wrong for the Islanders? Well, offense. They didn't step up in the time they needed it. That's just what happened. And Andre Vasilevskiy just had a really good game. So I look at it, Mario, defense wasn't doing bad. They're actually doing really good. Varlamov had a good game despite the 1-0 loss. The offense just didn't do what they had to do. Nobody stepped up for offense, and I think that's what really killed them. So honestly, Mario, what's next for the Islanders? I look at this team, Mario. There's really nothing they have to do. They have everything they need to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. They have a Stanley Cup coach in Barry Trotz. Remember, he was the coach of the Capitals when they won the Stanley Cup. And ever since he left that team, the Capitals haven't been able to make it out of the first round. So that really shows you how much of an effect that had on the Capitals. So they have themselves a Stanley Cup coach. You have a great offense. So you got Josh Bailey, you got Anthony Beauvillier, you got Matthew Barzal. You know what I mean? You got Kyle Palmieri. You know what I mean? Like they have everything it takes to go to the finals. It's just this game they just didn't step up. Semyon Varlamov, Mario, he did a really great job for the Islanders. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not sure if Alex Sorokin was injured or not. If you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. Just clarify it a little bit. I'm not sure if he was injured or not. But whether he was or not, he just wasn't playing good. So if I'm the Islanders, I'm sticking to Varlamov for now, Mario. But again, that could change as well. But I look at it, Mario, the Islanders don't have to do much. They just needed to be better. You know what I mean? like you said, this was if there was any team that could take the Lightning to the brink, it was the Islanders, and they did it. They just didn't succeed in beating them completely. So overall, Mario, when I look at the Islanders, it's just back to the drawing board. You don't have to trade off anything. You can add somebody, but I say don't get rid of anybody. This is the team that you need in order to go all the way. It's just you gotta have a better game plan. That's just that. Not going to the Lightning. Pretty much, this team is unchanged from last year. I mean, this team didn't really change a lot, and that's not a bad thing. That's a really great thing because this team again won the Stanley Cup last year, and they have a high shot of doing it again. So I'll give you my prediction. This one's tough, because I look at the Canadiens, Mario, and again, like I mentioned, this is a team that we didn't expect to make it this far. So, you know what? Screw it. The Canadiens win in 7. Screw it. The Canadiens win in 7. I'm sorry, but when it comes to these lower seed teams, Mario, I always said it. I am more scared of the lower seed team than I am of the top seed. Because you just don't know what these lower seed teams are capable of doing. Because they don't have the expectation of being this powerhouse. You know what I mean? The Lightning do have that expectation because they're just coming off the Stanley Cup run in an attempt to create another one. You know what I mean? So give me Canadiens in 7. I have a feeling they'll take them to the brink and win it, but I could be wrong. So with that being said, again, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals is on tonight at 8 p.m. on the NBC Sports Network. It's going to be in Tampa Bay, so make sure you go check that out. And with that being said, best of luck to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Best of luck to the Canadiens. As for the Islanders, best of luck to you guys in the offseason. Again, it's back to the drawing board, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, look, Nate, I look at this, and I think the one thing that the New York Islanders could have did better in Game 7 was be more aggressive offensively. You only had 18 shots on goal, and they had 31. So out of those 31, one of them was bound to score. And out of these 18, it's just not enough shots you can put on goal in order to tie up the game. But overall, Nate, yeah, there are definitely a bunch of stats that point to an even game. 50% from the faceoff. One team didn't even have a power play. The other one only had one. So it shows you how clean this game really was. 49 hits to 48. So it shows you how physical the game was. Lightning had 21 blocks out of their 8 compared to the Islanders 8. So overall, Nate, the blocks and the shots on goal are the only stats that lean a lot towards the favor of the Lightning. But yeah, Nate, I think the reason why the Islanders lost this game was because they were not aggressive offensively with the shot on goal. Now I know what you're going to say. I thought you said if you stop the big three, then you can beat this team. Yeah, you could, but you have to be somewhat good offensively too. Whether that means scoring 2 goals to win the game, And the big three did not get involved this game, Nate. None of them, the scores of this game was Yanni Gourde, Cirelli, and Killorn. That's it. Now I believe I'm gonna double check right now. Okay, yeah, Nikita Kucherov came back. That shocked me right there. When I found out he was playing, that surprised me, Nate, because when we talked about it, he was doubtful, and he came back. So credit to him. Now I hope that he's going to be okay for the next series against the Montreal Canadiens, because that is the most important one. But overall, Nate, going back to the Islanders, I think they need that one. I think they need that one scorer. Because offensively, I felt like they could have did a little bit more this series. Defensively, they were absolutely fantastic. But offensively, they could have did a little bit more. And I felt like that was the one thing that packed them up, that made them pack their bags and go home. See, Nate, I look at it, and the Islanders, they were good defensively, but offensively, they really never showed like that dominance, Offensively, they really never showed like what they're capable of, and guys like Barzal played a great series. Guys like Palmieri would like show up, and sometimes he wouldn't even show up at all. And then you got guys like there were so many guys on that team that just didn't show up. Just didn't show up at times. Like Pajot, there were times where he didn't show up. Brock Nelson, sometimes he was nowhere to be found. So overall, I think they do need that one scorer, that one consistent scorer. I'm not saying get a star, get like a Connor McDavid. That they don't necessarily need that, but get that one scorer that could definitely help them. So that's the one thing I feel like the New York Islanders are missing. As for the Tampa Bay Lightning, you're doing a great job. Just keep it up. You're doing a great job. Now they're going to face the Canadiens. I'll be honest with you, Nate. I got the Lightning in 6. I think the Lightning are going to go back to back and win 2 Stanley Cups in a row. That's my prediction right there. Because the Canadiens are very, very similar to the Lightning. I mean, the Islanders. Excuse me. They're very, very similar to the Islanders. They're both very defensive teams who have decent scoring, but their offense is not like amazing. It's not like an offense where you're like, oh my god, they are equal to the first line of the Colorado Avalanche. Oh my god, this offense could definitely hang with the Lightning. No, the best way the Canadiens are going to defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning in the series is exactly the way that the Islanders did defensively. Stop that big four and Hedman, Kucherov, Stamkos point. Stop that. The best way for the Lightning to win is do exactly what you've been doing. Is do exactly what you did, not this series, but the 2 series before it. You gotta be dominant offensively. And the games where they weren't dominant offensively, they were evenly hanging with them defensively, if that makes any sense. But you've seen how hard it was for this team to get on track when that big four was not involved. You've seen how much harder it was for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So if I'm the Canadiens, again, stop that big four and defensively play your game. You can learn a lot from this New York Islanders series. There was a lot of games where the New York Islanders had a lot of strengths, and I think that the Canadiens are very similar to them. So, find out some things to do in this series that the Islanders did that were successful to them. And as for the Lightning, you got to get back to being dominant offensively. This series was the least dominant offensive series for the Tampa Bay Lightning besides game 5, where they were up, where they won 8-0. Besides that, it was a very offensively, the Lightning really weren't clicking. So they got to get back to being dominant offensively. So with that being said, to the Lightning, congratulations on making the Stanley Cup. Best of luck to you guys against the Montreal Canadiens. As for the Islanders, it's back to the drawing board. I don't think there are a lot of pieces behind. I just think they need that one more scorer that could help them offensively. But other than that, Nate, I got to say this. The Islanders did play a great game, So I got to give them a lot of credit. But regardless, it's back to the drawing board for them. So to the Tampa Bay Lightning, best of luck to you guys in the Stanley Cup.